What's up everybody, welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Super 7 Ultimates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael. And at first, I was a little hesitant to get into this line because I already collect the NECA stuff and I didn't really feel like I needed to jump into a whole nother line of Ninja Turtles figures. But then I saw the review that Toy Bro did and it kind of convinced me to at least look into these a little bit more, so I started kind of poking around. And then I saw that they shot up in price and I'm like, oh, no way. But then I decided to call the Super 7 store in San Francisco and ask them if they had any in stock. It turns out they did. They had Raphael and Splinter. Then I asked them if they ship out. They said yes. Next thing you know, they're taking my information, bada bing, bada boom. Now I have the turtles. And I'm very excited to take a look at them because it's cool to see different takes of the same characters from different companies. So I am really looking forward to talking about this figure. So let's go ahead and get into it, starting with the packaging. First off, it does come in this brown cardboard mailer type of thing, but then once you remove that, we have the actual box, and this looks nice. I love how we have a manhole cover right here with the turtle head in the center. I think that's dope, and that's engraved. It's not like painted on there, so that's awesome. And then it says Super 7 over here, Raphael down at the bottom, and then on the back of the box it does say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this box is pretty big, man. It's kind of big for my review station, but we're gonna make it work. And then on the top here it says Ultimates, and this is a slip cover, so you remove that, and then now we have the box that the turtle is actually stored in. So there we go. And Raphael looks amazing in there. I like how we could see all the accessories. It looks like he comes with a bunch of really cool stuff. We have some accessories up front, and then there's more accessories behind the actual figure. And I like the design of the box. I like the sewer kind of concept that they went with. On the front here it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Down here it says Raphael. And the sewer look kind of carries on through the whole box. I like the way that it looks on the side. On the back it looks cool too. Then we have some graffiti and all kinds of good stuff going on. Right here it says Raphael, the witty voice of the turtles, and then there's a little biography about Raphael himself, the #1 Ninja Turtle without a doubt. And then over here we have some more of the bricks and graffiti and stuff like that. And the packaging does appear to be collector friendly, so we'll see once we open it up and start taking it out. But yeah, it looks like it's collector friendly, so you can remove the figure and put it back in as you please. But enough about the box, let's go ahead and rip this thing open and take a look. Okay, so here we have the greatest turtle of all time, Raphael, out of the packaging. And you know what, guys, I really think I'm in trouble here because I like this figure a lot more than I thought I would. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Obviously, I did watch a bunch of reviews before getting this, but I wasn't really sure how much I would like the figure once it was in my hands. But I'm very happy to say that I think it's great. I think that Super 7 did a really good job on this, and it's cool to see that they did a few things different from the NECA figures. So I was excited to check out all that stuff. But yeah, it's a good figure. I love the way that it looks. It does a very good job of bringing that old Playmates Raphael figure to the modern age, you know. So I think they did a good job. Just check him out. I was really surprised by how posable he is, to be honest with you. That's the thing that really got me. And the other thing too is the alternate head. This head is cool, but once I put the alternate head on him, I was like, oh yeah, I love this thing. But we'll take a look at all that in just a minute. But yeah, I think it looks good, man. They did a great job. But let's go ahead and get in close and take a look at the details. And taking a closer look at the details on the figure, starting off with the head sculpt, I do think this is a nice looking head sculpt. It definitely captures exactly what they were going for, which was to recreate that old Playmates look. So I think it came out nice. I like the facial expression. You got the teeth showing down there. The eyes look good. The mask looks good. This is like soft plastic, so you don't really have to worry about it snapping off or anything. So that's all very nice. And as good as this head sculpt is, to be honest with you, I really like the alternate head a little better. I feel like this one has more of a comic book vibe, and I just like the way it looks a lot. To be honest with you, I like this one a lot more than the other head sculpt. I know what they were going for with the other one, and I think they nailed it. But just as far as my personal preference, I think this head sculpt is a lot better. I like how angry he looks. I like the different shades of green that we have on there. It gets a little darker on the nose, but then it's lighter on the head. The mask looks nice. The teeth look good. Yeah, everything about this head sculpt is really well done. And then moving down into the body here, you could see that there's some sculpted details like on the neck. It looks like skin. It's not just smooth or anything, so that is nice. And then for the arms, they are a little smoother, but there's still a lot of detail on there. You can see the vein. There's no pins or anything, so that's cool. And then the elbow pad, it feels like a separate piece from the arm, but it is glued down. Same thing with the bracelet piece, I guess you could call it. I don't know. And the hands look nice too. I like how the fingers are painted a different shade of green than the rest of the hand. That is really dope. And then the front of the turtle shell looks really good too. I like the texture to it. Looks like you got hit right there. Bam. right here too. Let me go ahead and move the size so we could see. So yeah, that looks good. The belt looks nice, or the sheaths. I like how there's some detail on there. Look at that. Look at that texture and stuff. It all looks good. And as you saw before, the size fit right in there, so that's cool. I never know, is it size or psi? Plural, I don't know. And then we have the R right there representing his name. Man, look at, I like the texture on these. And then moving along to the back of the figure, I like the way his turtle shell looks too. I like how it has some scratches and it kind of looks battle damaged. And we have this here. This is like another little sheath to hold on to one of his weapons. Go and stick that right in there, so that's cool. But look at all the detail on it. Looks really nice. The belt that wraps around the shell looks good too. So yeah, a lot of really nice detail on this figure. Let's look at the legs real quick. We have some not wrinkles, but like, I don't know what you like, skin creases or folds or something sculpted in there. Different shades of green. Again, the toenails are a different shade of green than the rest of the foot. It looks really good. You can't see any of the joints really. That's why I thought that these figures weren't going to have that much articulation. A lot of the joints were hidden. I was like, well, how are the legs going to move? But yeah, they got some articulation in there. But yeah, I love the way this figure looks. I think the sculpting work is very well done. I really like this alternate head, and I think they did a good job with the overall look and all the details on him. And for accessories, Raphael does come with a lot of really good stuff, including multiple sets of hands, but I'm a little disappointed in those, to be honest with you, because for some reason, they gave him 3 different sets of gripping hands, but 2 of them are exactly identical to each other, so I'm not really sure why they did that. So what we have here is a set of gripping hands with the vertical hinge, and then we have a set of gripping hands with the horizontal hinge, and I'm okay with those 2, but then we have another set of gripping hands that also have the horizontal hinge, and I can't really tell the difference between those 2 different sets of hands, so I'm not really sure why they did that. I would have preferred an open hand or some fists or something like that. But luckily they did give us a cool set of these open hands, and these hands can be used to hold on to his sai in different ways. And speaking of his sais, he does come with 2 different styles. The first ones have like a plastic kind of look, just like the old Playmates toys, and the other set has more of a metallic paint job on them. And then he also comes with a couple of weapons that I'm not even sure what they're called, but the first one here looks like a sword with like a hook kind of wrapped onto the handle. And then he has this thing, which I guess you could call it like a dagger. And then this last one, I'm not even going to try to name it. I don't even know what you'd call this thing. If anyone knows, leave that down in the comments. I'm curious as to what this thing would be called. And then he comes with a couple of ninja stars. And then he has 2 different turtle phones. The first one is the closed turtle phone. It just looks like a turtle shell, which is nice. And then we have an open turtle phone. And then last but not least, he does come with a slice of pizza. And let's go ahead and take a close look at his weapon, starting off with his weapon of choice, which is his sai. And this looks good, but this is the one that has more of a plastic kind of look to it. But I think it's sculpted very well, and I think they did a good job with that. And then we have the more metallic looking set, and these are cool too, but it looks like the paint kind of messed up like the ends of the sais, and they're also just a little warped, both of them. So these things definitely could have been done a little nicer. I think there's some quality control issues that contributed to them looking a little funky, you know. But look at that, the paint looks weird at the end, and they look like chewed up or something. And then we have this guy here, which again, I don't know what this thing is called, but it looks like it could do some damage. So this is nice, and again, it's kind of warped, so I could probably straighten that out, but still, that kind of sucks. And then we have this guy. I like the metallic look on the blade, but again, I don't know what this thing is called, but again, it looks like you could tear somebody up with that. Same thing with this. I was just calling this thing a dagger. I don't know. It kind of makes sense. I like the handle, how it has like the leather strap like wrapped around it. Like it goes for that kind of look. I think that looks good. And then we have the ninja stars. They have little holes in them. We have the turtle communicator closed up. Has got a bunch of really good detail on it. And then the turtle phone ready to use. And they didn't go the extra mile like NECA did by putting like pictures of other characters on there. But it's okay. This still does look really cool. There's a lot of nice detail on it. And then let's see. What else do we have? Last but not least, we have the pizza. I like how it has that shiny, greasy kind of look. And only on the cheese. Like the shiny look isn't on the crust. And then he does come with this weapon rack, and this is definitely another throwback to the Mattel figures. If you remember, they used to all come with these type of things, and then you'd pop out the weapons, and there it is. I don't think you're expected to pop out the weapons on this one. I think they just threw it in there for fun. So yeah, this is a cool little Easter egg kind of thing. And now for some quick size comparisons. Here we have the Super 7 Raphael alongside the SH Figure Arts Raphael and the NECA Raphael. And I'm really happy to have all three of these figures because I feel like each one of them represents this era of Ninja Turtles, but in a different way. Like each one of them is kind of based on different things, but these were all looks that were around during my childhood. So I'm really happy to have each one of these guys. And it's interesting to see that the Super 7 one is bigger than the Figure Arts version and the NECA one. So that's kind of cool, but yeah, it's a little different. And then next up we have Raph alongside a couple of other Ninja Turtles characters that aren't as good as him. On the left we have the NECA Donatello, and on the right we have the NECA Leonardo. And then next up we have Raph alongside the NECA animated Casey Jones and the NECA Turtles in Time Slash. And as you can see, Raphael does look pretty cool next to them, but again, he's a little big. And then here we have him alongside the NECA Bebop and Rocksteady, and since they're such big monsters, you could definitely make this work. And then next up we have him alongside the NECA Shredder and a NECA Foot Soldier. And once again, Raph is a little big, but you could definitely fudge it to make this work if you want. And then now here we have him alongside the G.I. Joe Classified Beachhead and the Super 7 Toxie from Toxic Crusaders. And then to go ahead and finish off the size comparisons, here we have Raph alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And when it comes to articulation on Ninja Turtle figures, I never really expect all that much because the way they're designed. But with that said, Raphael has a pretty good amount of articulation. So I'm very happy to see that because that was another reason why I was kind of staying away from these figures. I thought they would be a lot less articulated than like the NECA figures. But I would say they're right up there in terms of articulation. So I'm relieved by that. So it's good stuff. But let's go ahead and get into it, starting with the head. The head does move side to side. It's got a little bit of tilt to it, as you can see, which is nice. He could look up to about right there. Then he could look down to only to about right there, actually. I thought it could go a little bit more, but it stops right there. And I forget the name of the joint in there. I think it's like a double ball pen. So you get some nice movement. I like how you could bring it out a little bit like that. Bring it back. So yeah, pretty good movement at the head. And like I said, you got some side to side. So I like what we have going on there. And then for the torso, he's got like it's kind of hard to explain, I guess. He's got like a ball jointed waist piece that fits under the shell. Let's see if you could see it there. And you see how it moves? I really like that. It actually works out pretty well. I mean, there's no turtle figures that you're going to buy that are going to be able to have like a full-on ab crunch unless they make a cut like in the turtle shell. And none of the other companies have done that yet. So it seems like they're all trying to figure out ways to give them some type of torso articulation. And I would say that so far, Super 7 has come up with one of the best ways to do it. Like, you're not getting all that much, but you get some side to side. That joint could swivel right there, so that's cool. He's not going to be able to, or actually, I don't know. It's not going to be able to crunch, but he can bend forward a little bit. So yeah, this joint is really, really interesting. And it allows you to do some cool poses. Like you could get him into like crouching down kind of thing. Not like crazy crouching down, but like enough, or more than I expected anyways. So, you know, something like that is really cool. But yeah, I like this this waist joint, I guess. It's like, but it's kind of deep into the torso there. Yeah, check that out. So that's pretty interesting. And then the front of the shell is pretty soft, so it doesn't get in the way at all. But yeah, that's a pretty unique take on the whole turtle design. I like it. I think it's good. And I mean, at first it was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But then after messing with it, it's pretty functional. Sorry, I'm taking more time than I usually would on this because, you know, I was kind of like, oh, okay, cool. This is something new and different. And I became all interested. But yeah, you could definitely get some crouching poses and some different kind of things going. Look at that. That's awesome. Anyways, yeah, so that's cool. I like the way they did that. And then for the arms, we do have a ball jointed shoulder that goes all the way around. Comes out to the side. Both of his arms could come out to right there. It gets a little tight, but they can come out. And then we have upper bicep swivel. He's got a single jointed elbow, which gets about 90. So that's not bad. I wish they could have fit double jointed elbows in there, but a lot of the Ultimates figures don't have that. But it would have been nice if they put it in for the Turtles. Especially because they could have maybe used this to hide the double joint, you know. The little elbow pad. But still, I'm okay with what we have going on right there. It's got about 90. And then he does have a swivel at the elbow. Let's see if we can show this one a little bit better. There we go. A swivel at the elbow. And then for the hands, as I mentioned, he has a set of hands that have the vertical movement, and then a set of hands that have the typical, I guess you could call it horizontal movement. But the wrist pegs are pretty small, and for whatever reason, it's really hard to like tilt the hands up and down. The best way to do it is probably just to take them out, move it how you want, and then like stick them back in. So there you go. And same thing for this side. The pegs are really tight. Oh, this one's a little bit better. Even when they're loose, they just don't move that much when the hand is in the socket. But you could make it work. Just got to take them out and mess with it. But yeah, it's okay there. And then of course you have the swivel at the hand. And then for the legs, look at that. Bam! You could do the full-on splits. You could kick forward to right there. Dang, that's pretty good. Can move his leg back to right there. And then we have upper thigh swivel. And then we have a single jointed knee, which is a little disappointing. Again, I wish he had a double jointed knee. For the elbows, it's a little more forgivable, but I really wish that he had double jointed knees, because as it is right now, he's got a single jointed knee and it only goes to right there. And what else do we have going on here? We have a swivel at the knee as well. And then for the feet, the foot itself could go forward to about right there. Could come up to right there. And then he has rocking ankles. So yeah, the articulation on him is pretty good. And like I said, he's got a lot more going on than I was expecting, especially with that waist torso thing. I think the way they did that really allows for some pretty cool posing. So yeah, I like the articulation setup on this guy. Alright guys, so overall, I like this figure a lot. I think that Super7 did a great job with it, and I feel like they're off to a really good start with their Ninja Turtles line. As far as the sculpt and the overall design goes, I think it's very well sculpted, and it does a perfect job of recapturing one of those old school Playmates Ninja Turtles action figures, but making it feel modern and awesome. So I love the way that he looks, and they did a great job with it. They really nailed the sculpt and everything, and I like all the little details and everything on him. I love the scratches on the turtle shell. That all looks really good, and I really love this alternate head. That's really what sold me on this figure by the end, you know. I like the other head too, it's cool, but once I threw this head on there, I was like, oh yeah man, I really like that. So I don't know if I'm gonna go all in on this line, but I'm definitely gonna pick up the 4 turtles and maybe any other characters that look really interesting to me. But as far as the turtles themselves go, I'm definitely gonna get those. But yeah, this guy looks good. As far as the accessories go, he does come with a lot of good stuff. I appreciate all the weapons that he comes with. I think the weapon rack is a really cool accessory to throw in there. That's another like throwback to the Playmate stuff. But I do wish that he came with more hands. He does come with 4 sets as it is right now, but 2 of them are exactly the same. So I wish they would have taken one of those out and maybe given him some fists or some open hands or something like that. But thankfully, he did come with these open hands, so it's not like he's stuck with some type of gripping hand. So I do appreciate that, but it would have been cool if he had a pair of fists as well instead of 2 sets of gripping hands that were exactly the same. And as far as the articulation goes, it's not the most articulated Ninja Turtle figure out there. Obviously, the figure arts and the Revoltech figures are going to have way more articulation, but he still has a lot of really good stuff going on. And to be honest with you, he's right up there with the NECA stuff as far as articulation, and I wasn't really expecting that. There's some things that he's missing that like the NECA figures have, but then there's other things that he has going on that the NECA figures don't. So that's pretty interesting. So I'm pleasantly surprised with the amount of articulation he has and how functional it is. So I was very happy to see that. But yeah, man, overall, I think it's a really cool figure, and I look forward to picking up the other Ninja Turtles. I think they're going to look great together. So pretty good stuff from Super7. I like Super7 as a company, even though they don't make that many like products that I'm interested in. you know, they do make some pretty cool stuff, but nothing that like I'm a huge fan of. But when it comes to Ninja Turtles, you know, I'm always interested. So once I saw these, I was like, oh yeah, they look cool, but you know, I don't know. But I'm very happy that I decided to jump in and check them out because, yeah, like I said, Super7's cool. They're from the Bay Area, and if they put out cool figures, I definitely want to support them. So I'm happy that they put something out that appeals to me, and I could appreciate what they have going on. So good stuff. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you know whenever I go live. Those have been a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody that participates in those. And yeah, thank you so much. Peace.